So one of the other great essential topics for businesses to think about, whether new or existing, is of course accountability. I know we've had some discussions before, Wayne, around, sometimes the leaders within the business actually become their own stumbling blocks with accountability. What do you mean by that?
Well, quite often, if you talk to a business owner or leader and you ask them about certain staff or how they're going with a performance issue, they'll be able to very quickly say, "Oh, I'm having real problems with so-and-so." And when you say why, it's often because that person's either not living up to the values of the organisation, or they're just outside of where you want them to be. They're delivering the results, but the way they did it leaves a big wake behind them.
Yeah.
And it upsets everyone else.
Yeah.
And you just, if only I could get them to change that behaviour. And I often say, well, what mechanisms have you got in place when it comes to holding people accountable?
Yeah.
And they flounder because quite often they don't have much at all. They might have an annual performance review, but if you're doing something 12 monthly,
it's not enough.
You don't have the freshness, the immediacy of that strong conversation. And I think if anyone wants to get a good book to read on having a good, strong conversation, it's, I've forgotten the name.
That's all right, it'll come to you. We'll put it in the notes with the video if you like. But because we've talked in one of the previous videos around accountability by numbers and KPIs within your business, and obviously using those to create accountability. But there's sort of a bit of a lag sort of indicator, aren't they?
Yes.
What are some of the other things you've seen businesses do which are more sort of that, providing that feedback, providing that accountability, almost on the hop?
Well, going back to one of our favourites, Rockefeller habits, is to have a regular meeting or huddle. It doesn't have to be a big sit-down meeting. It can be quite a fast and furious stand-up session every morning or same time every day, where you go back and you revisit what we're supposed to be doing. What is it that's important for us? And the other is to avoid being your own worst enemy. A lot of people sabotage their leadership, their ability to hold others accountable. Oh, they make excuses. Oh, she's only new. Oh, he had some problems at home. Oh, I understand, I was there once and I found it difficult too.
Yeah.
Or we find ways to let their non-performance reflect on us. So I think I could have explained myself better to that person.
Yeah, okay.
That's why they didn't perform. You've really got to recognise when you're doing that and be very, very open and honest and clear with your conversation with that person.
Yeah.
If you want to read a book about having a good conversation, there's one called Fierce Conversations.
Yep.
You'll find it in any good bookstore.
Yep.
Read that.
Yep.
It's a gem because it lets you understand that you can change your business and change the performance of your world one conversation at a time.
Yeah.
But people have to have the courage to have very good, strong, open and honest conversation with people. John, that performance of yours wasn't up to scratch.
Yeah.
You can do better, I know you can.
Yeah. So that's really a layer before, I suppose, when you talk about not tolerating non-performance. It's sort of a layer before that, just having those conversations, which, obviously comes back to the first video we did, the first interview around core values, and that's, I suppose, the first thing you're going to hold people accountable for.
It all meshes in. And you'll see that when you've got your values right, all these other things start to make sense. You can start adding all these other systems and processes.
Yeah. So fierce conversations doesn't necessarily have to be fierce, I don't know, from a Game of Thrones sort of perspective or something, but fierce from a perspective of genuine, honest, authentic.
Yes. And having courage to have
To
the
have those
conversation.
conversations.
The conversation that you've been putting off.
Yeah.
Have that
yeah.
one.
I know you love balanced scorecards as well, Wayne. Maybe give us an indication or where you've seen them implemented with good outcomes.
Look, I've introduced them into 3 of the different companies that I've led, each time to great success. And then I've also helped others introduce them to their own businesses. If you do it right, you get wonderful results.
Yeah.
But it does take time.
Yeah.
A balanced scorecard, look it up on Google, what I'm talking about. But really you're saying, I'm not going to just measure people on the hard financials. I'm going to measure them on the soft stuff as well. If customer service is important, then you measure them on customer service.
Yep. Do you find a balanced scorecard is the type of thing that you can just put your toe in the water and refine it as you go? It doesn't. I know a lot of people wait to sort of have that perfect balanced scorecard before they launch it.
Yeah, they invariably, a lot of people say it looks very complex.
Yeah.
And I haven't got the time.
Yeah.
So I say, just start by introducing 1 or 2 KPIs in each of the 4 squares.
Yep.
You'll see it when you go and do your research.
Yep.
There's 4 squares or 4 quadrants of performance you're asked to measure. Just put 1 or 2 KPIs in each and start with that. That will give you the confidence next year to introduce a few more and on you go. But if you're just measuring people on how many sales they make, then you're not really genuine about your core value that says respect for the individual, because that person can get sales by knocking over a whole lot of people on their way to the sale. And you don't want that.
If you'd like to support Wayne's cause, and in particular research into MND, you can buy a copy of the Fat Rabbit books at carrottopisland.com.au. You can donate at mndandme.com.au. And if you enjoyed this video, you may enjoy the others in the series, the other 6, which are all available at businessdepot.com.au.